It's another cold night, so I'm not going to go out to do the podcast. I'm just going to stay inside. So, there's a concept I wanted to think about, or talk about earlier. So, it's this interesting little sort of dilemma thing. So, basically, assume you have two people. First one is you're trustworthy. Second person is someone you meet, and this is like post-apocalyptic, for example, something where you can't trust people, or you could trust people. So, they say, can I trust you? Now, you can be trusted, but it's good advice to not trust people regardless until you gain trust. So you could say yes, but also you want them to not trust people because it's a bad idea to trust people, obviously. You say, well, if I were you, I wouldn't trust me. But you know you're trustworthy. So you're basically saying I'm not trustworthy, but you know you are. So you can't say like you shouldn't trust people, but you can trust me, because then they would have to trust you in saying that. And this kind of applies to other things. Similar to the thing of how I can talk to an adult if they don't know I'm an adult, let's say on Discord, or they don't know I'm a child and they're fine with it, but then I mention I'm a child and now they're not fine with it. So this whole concept of like you don't know something and it's fine, you know something and it's not fine, so you're technically better off because it's better if you don't know, because the other person, in a way, they're lying, but they're not really lying. You just don't know it. So that's a lack of information, not necessarily lying. And it's better for you because you get to talk to them and you're having a pleasant time. If you know, you're now not going to talk to them. But it's also kind of better for you because you don't want to talk to them, even though it's fine for you to talk to them if you don't know. Now, I wasn't able to necessarily come to a conclusion on this, on how this could be solved or how it works, but I think it is quite fascinating. So I don't know exactly what you would do. I don't know. There's not much you can say about it. It's really just a dilemma. I don't know what it'd be called. So I also figured out another way to solve the, I don't know if you have this conundrum too, but like I call it the voter conundrum / dilemma. If I add one vote to 50,000, it's hardly going to change. So why should I vote? If everyone thinks that, that's a total of less votes. So someone says, okay, you guys who have that thought process, you need to vote, okay? It's like, okay, well, why should I vote? I mean, it's not going to make a difference. So those people can vote, but they all think that, so no one ever votes. And the only solution I could possibly come up with is, okay, ignore other people, ignore the votes. If you want this person, you vote, forget about everything else. Okay, sure. Everyone votes, boom. Now it's an increase of that many people. So think of it as all of those people being an increase, you do it all at once versus adding your individual vote one at a time. That's another thing which I don't know if you have, but I do have for sure. Even for smaller things like 50, like let's say 100 people, you need majority vote, 50 minimum. Actually, that's kind of too small of an example. Let's say 1,000, you need 500 minimum. But especially for like the U.S. election, you're gonna need a lot of votes. So that's a much bigger difference. Yeah, I mean, okay, well, I think I was going to expand on that concept a little more, but I don't really know what to say, I'm not going to lie, because what do you say about it? It's just a dilemma. I mean, I could try to solve it, but, like, there's not really a solution, I mean, you could, I guess I could. So let's put up that, aforementioned scenario. So, post-apocalyptic, or apocalyptic, I suppose. That's interesting. Post-apocalyptic, but if everything's a wasteland now, it's still kind of apocalyptic, right? I don't know. Anyways, so one person, you know you're trustworthy, and you want them to trust you. That's another part. You want them to trust you. But inherently, by saying, you can trust me, even though they can trust you, and it's good for you, and it's good for them, and it works out, it's like you're almost doing the wrong thing, because it's a good thing to not trust people in general, because there's a lot of untrustworthy people in said scenario, so it's better to advise them not to trust you. So telling them you can trust me, even if they can't trust you, and it benefits both of you, in a way, you're kind of like, not lying, because you can be trusted. In fact, you'd be lying by saying, you can't trust me, and you'd be neutral by saying, it's best if you don't trust me, but you can't say that, because now you're still saying you can be trusted. So don't think there's anything you can say, really. I would just say my personal belief, I mean, I don't think there's any other way to do it. I would say it's best to not trust anyone, so you should just gain trust in me naturally. Now, I can personally tell you I can be trusted, but you can't trust me, because I actually had this another thought. If someone you don't trust says you can trust someone, do you trust that person who they said you can trust? Because you don't trust them, so they could be lying. Maybe this person's horrible. Maybe they lie. You can't trust them. You don't know if that person's right or not. So a similar scenario here. If I said, like, just, wait, what was that? Where was that? I completely forgot. If you, I think it was like, if you stick around, just gain trust in me naturally, but I can, I can personally tell you that you can trust me. Now, it's your choice of whether or not you can believe that, but, I mean, naturally, you shouldn't trust me because I'm a new person, so you shouldn't believe that, so there's no point in saying that. And by saying it, I could, because, like, I'm the source of saying I'm trustworthy, and because the source is someone you can't trust yet, then saying it is useless, right? Real, and the entire concept is similar to the concept of humility, how you can't say you're humble, that makes you not humble, sort of. So it's similar to that concept, how there's no reason to say you can trust me, because if they don't trust you, it doesn't matter. If you say you can't trust me, that's just confusing and can mess with them, and even if you could be trusted, it could be interpreted as a joke, but it also is kind of a risky thing and might actually lead to them not trusting you. So it could also mean like psychotic or something, and you're aware of it. You have like episodes of psychoticism, and they can't trust that because of you, or trust you because of that. Trust is an interesting concept. Must be built, and even though trust like is built over time, you can know someone for your entire life and they betray you in the end. Trust is fascinating, really. What is trust, really? It's your inherent faith in someone that they don't lie and they support you. Well, not about supporting you, but that they won't lie, mainly. What they say and do is the truth and honest and potentially right. But trust is something you can have, but it's not something that can be proven. You can't prove trust. That's interesting. You can have as much faith, as much trust in something as you can. I trust if I touch this wall, my finger will stop. I trust that. And I'm not going to quantum tunnel, but I have infinite trust that I will be stopped by this wall. Unless it breaks, of course. But I have infinite trust. I have infinite trust that if I touch this wire, it will move. Infinite. Well, I don't know, infinite, I don't know if it's even possible, but a crap ton of trust. But that does not prove it, technically. No matter how much you trust something, there's no way to guarantee your trust is true. Sure, 999999999.99999% out of 100, but that's not 100. And obviously, it doesn't necessarily affect your life, because sure, that can be, there's still that minuscule chance that they end up being untrustworthy, but that's similar to like how minuscule chance, say, I don't know, our sun blows up. That won't affect our life. It's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. Similar to like, saying similar to, I don't know why. Like, let's say our president is going to fix America and do the right thing. Okay. It is physically and humanly possible. Will it happen? No. I can't say no. I can't guarantee that. But the 99.99 to a gajillionth scale says no. And in reality, the answer is no. We're just going to say no. We're going to go with no. And the absurdly high chance, which is essentially 100%, is no. So you just go with no. That's what happens. And that's how we perceive a lot of things, honestly. A lot of things about the world are 99.999, etc. % chance of happening. That's what we have trust in, faith. It's destiny, if you want to call it that. But really, it's not guaranteed. You can't guarantee anything, really. I mean, you can guarantee some things, but not really. I mean, anything could happen. Even physics can be broken by spiritual forces, or if you're atheist, supernatural event somehow, magic, you can't trust and believe anything really to a scale of anything at all. No one can guarantee anything, and the closest you can come to that, having full belief that something is guaranteed, is having a solid belief that there's nothing supernatural, nothing spiritual, nothing changing, everything is solid. But in that case, you're just an idiot. You can't have a belief that there is absolutely zero chance anything outside of your will, supernatural, can happen, because it can happen. Even if you were the most strict atheist in the world, nothing supernatural, nothing changes. Physics is solid, it doesn't break. Prove it? Go ahead, prove it. You can't. You can have a shitload of evidence that things are solid and things follow the law of physics and make the sounds they make and do the things they do, but you can't technically guarantee it, you know? So, trust is a fun concept, and obviously I'll be naming the, I'm gonna end it, I want to end it at 11:11, but then that breaks the streak of ending it on a 0, so I won't do that. I can end it here, though. God bless, goodbye.